Hey, what's up guys? Today we're going to be building a power plant. Now a lot of people have actually requested this right here. So thank you so much for your comments. As always, leave all the suggestions down below. I always check every single comment and I will go through everything. So thank you very much for commenting. Also, if you enjoyed this series, definitely drop a like down below. It means a lot to me as well. So we started out with one of the cooler towers. I'm going to be making two. And you might be seeing me placing a lot of cylinders. Now, like hollow cylinders or circles, whatever you want to call them. The way I did this, because each of these cylinders has a radius. Now, the smallest point of this cooler tower, as you might know, the shape of a cooler tower, it's called a I think it's hyperboloid. It's kind of a difficult name, but it has like a big base at the bottom, then it goes in, and towards the top, it goes out a little bit again. So from the smallest point, what I did was I calculated each layer by 1% more. So if the smallest layer was 15%, then 1% if the smallest one was 15 blocks, then 1% added to that is like, I don't know the name, 15.2. So I did all of that throughout to the bottom. See, the smallest point right there was 15. The bottom, it's about 30. So that came out really well, and I'm actually really happy with that technique and that I found out. I just did it in Excel or Google Sheets. You just want to put in the number and then make the one below it. You add the top value and then do plus like 1% or something. Then you can just pull it down and you're done. So this whole thing is going to be supported by a lot of pillars. And these pillars are cobblestone walls. They're super simple. Now these pillars on real cooling towers, they're actually crisscross and slanted, but I didn't want to do that because it's gonna look really ugly in Minecraft if we did that. So I chose for a simple design where they would go down normally and vertically. It looks a lot better, trust me. Now on this inside, it's gonna be very interesting, and there's gonna be a lot of cobwebs, which is basically making it look like there's a lot of water vapor in the air going up, making like clouds and stuff. It's pretty cool. The first thing though that we're gonna do is change this whole thing, because now it's just stone. It's gonna be changed into andesite and stone, just to give it a little bit of a rough look, because I never like having the same type of block on a whole wall or material. Like, it doesn't look good. You want to mix it up a bit. It makes it look a lot better. Now the first real cool thing on this, I'm gonna make a huge ladder on the side, on the right side, which I'm gonna start in a second actually, right here. So I'm gonna start out with a ladder, and there's gonna be a fence going all the way around it. And actually it took quite some time to do because it's really annoying to make. Now this fence is gonna be just one block, so a single person fits through, and I just had to basically roll edit it to make it a little bit quicker. And I do have to edit the corner pieces, because now a person won't fit through. I had to change those so that I could actually, with a Minecraft character, actually go through them. Now here I had a little bit of difficulty because I needed to go up and I couldn't copy any blocks for some reason there, so I had to do it manually, but it doesn't matter because I like doing things manually. The things like this whole tower, like, you cannot do that this pretty, you cannot do that manually. It's impossible unless you have the whole block for block scheme that you want to place down, which you could do for like console where you don't have these tools, this roll edit tools. You could do that, but in my opinion, using like calculated stuff like circles, it makes it so much better, and you should definitely use it if you have the access to it. Now we're going to the inside, and basically how these sort of work, I'm not 100% sure, but I think there's cold water on the bottom, and then it uses air that is flowing from the outside from where those pillars are. It's going to flow in and go through to the top, and then that will cool down the hot water that is flowing through it, which is basically then used to cool down something in a nuclear generator or something. I'm not entirely sure, but I think it's sort of like that. So this is just like a raster that goes through on the first layer, and I just really wanted to make this because it makes it look a lot better. Then on the bottom where you now see the grass, it is actually going to be put down by about 4 blocks, and that's where I'm going to put all the hot and cold water pipes that will do the whole process. Now these little holes, they were 2 by 2, but I made a lot of mistakes. See, on the right I just did a mistake, then here in the middle there's a 3 by 2 hole that I'm fixing just now that I didn't even see that. So while I was building this, I had quite a lot of mistakes, because once again guys, this is all out of my head. I might just look at a couple pictures, but that's it. I'm not copying this or anything. I'm just trying to do my best out of my brain and give you guys the best look at what I can build with like an hour of time with what I can do. So I built a quarter and then copied it over 4 times with the rotate command. If you don't know what that is, it's basically / rotate 90, which is 90 degrees, and then you paste it down again. I could put those commands up in the video right there. So I wanted to make it go a little bit more down, so I had some space for all these tubes, the warm tubes with the water that still needs to be cooled down, and then the cold water that is either from a lake or something else to cool it down and get the vapor going. So here I'm creating the tubes. They're all iron. I just wanted to have like iron pipes. It doesn't really matter what block it is. You can choose anything you want to, as long as it's believable. So the bottom ones are going to be the cold, and then the top is going to be some warm water that is used for like the generator or something. So this is actually looking quite cool already. I decided to do them both sides just to keep it a little bit symmetrical, and then on the bottom there I'm going to be making like a river flowing through with some excess water. I don't really know, I just wanted to put it there because it looked nice. I also wanted to have a little bit more detail on the tower, so I'm making a little ring of iron that goes through like the bottom layer of this. I once again copy this with the rotate command, and it basically is in the style of the bottom and the top, because the top part also had some iron on top. Now here what I'm doing is I'm replacing the air and then replacing it with 4 times air and 1 times cobweb, so there's like 20% cobweb in this. Then I'm going around all over the place and pasting this and basically making it look like a cloud and vapor that is going up, and it's gonna look very dark and dense, but I think it looks pretty cool, and I wanted to keep this in the exact way that I made it. I didn't want to like redo it, even though it looks a little bit dark, but let's just say it's very dense clouds. Doesn't really matter, because the clouds in the shader pack, they look a lot whiter, but it's okay. So soon I'm also going to be copying over this tower to the left. There's going to be a second one. I'm going to be rotating a tower by 90 degrees just so that it doesn't look exactly the same. That's what I always like to do, just rotate your things a little bit, makes it look better. Here I did not rotate it yet, but that's about to come when I redo this. Here you go, and bam, there we go. So you can see that the ladder is now on the left side over there, on the front side instead of the right side, which is kind of good. Now I wanted to have something extra because I didn't want to have just the cooling towers, even though this building is not going to be like the best, and you shouldn't really, like, this tutorial is not really for this little building right here. I just wanted to have a little building next to it just to make it look a little bit more complete. So this is where it's going to be the generator, and it's going to be a nice sphere on the top of the building where the whole thing is in, and just basically some offices on the left there and some random stuff, some piping and a couple towers going up. It just makes it look a lot more finished instead of just having 2 cooling towers. Like, what are they going to cool down? They need something to cool down, so this is what they're cooling down. It's kind of cool. So just simple 2 doors, 2 windows, going to be a second floor windows, and on the left I decided to put 1 as well. So mainly this building is enclosed. It only has like an open area at the front there, which is basically where most of the people would be in that building. So here I made a little entrance to the bottom side of the cooling tower, just a little staircase to finish things off, and a little cobblestone wall next to it. Now these pipes going from the sphere to the floor with a nice 90-degree angle, and here as well going into the building. Now the last thing is going to be a little tiny chimney just to have a little bit extra detail. And that is basically it, guys. 2 giant cooling towers, which is basically the idea of this video, and they look amazing with a lot of vapor in the air. I love it. That's it, guys. If you enjoyed this video, definitely drop a like rating. Thank you so much for watching. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.